Well, hey there, my friends. I hope today finds you well. Here in Northeast Kansas, it's dreary and rainy, so I have grabbed myself a cup of coffee. I hope that you have one too, or something else. Maybe you like hot or cold iced tea, Coca-Cola, whatever your drink of choice is. Let's sit down and have a chat. Today's video is going to be just us visiting and doing our final recap of our preparedness series. Welcome to my final part of my No Fear Friday series as part of the 30 Days of Preparedness collaboration hosted by my sweet friend Michelle over at Big Valley Living. If you have missed any of the videos, it's not too late. They're still there. She has a playlist where there are lots of different content creators bringing you all kinds of ideas. Mine is every Friday with a No Fear Friday series. I wanted to bring to you ideas without anxiety and fear and all the things that you might think of when you think of preparing. This whole month, I've talked about all the things that matter: books, shelf-stable meals, the importance of mentorship and community. And then today, I want to talk about something that just ties it all together: living a prepared life, one step at a time. Preparedness is not about hoarding or fear or waiting for the next big thing. It is about living with intention. Make small choices that stack up over time. Let's call it lifestyle prepping. Okay, so things like checking your pantry before you go on a grocery run, keeping a flashlight in your car. How about knowing your neighbors' names? It is not about being ready for everything. You know, we think we just have to do it all. It's just being ready for something. You know, that really can make the difference. You don't want to panic. You just want to prepare. Don't fear. Build forward. All these things that we've been talking about is preparing us without fear. The books, the foods, the friends. So down below, I'm going to add for you a little checklist. It's kind of a start where you are checklist. It'll be 10 tiny, but yet big things that can impact over time. 10 steps. Remember, preparedness isn't really something that you necessarily are doing to get to an end. Okay, I've prepared, I'm done. It's just a lifestyle. For example, let's talk about those books. Maybe you want to challenge yourself to read one book a month, or even a chapter a week, or whatever goal that you set for yourself, so that you have that knowledge in the back of your head. We'll talk a little bit about those shelf-stable foods that we had. So you buy them when they're on sale so that you're locking in the lowest price possible, right? So our shelves are stocked. Now what do? Don't just hang on to them. So you've got 5-gallon bucket full of beans. Well, if you do not know how to cook with them, they're not going to do you any good. We're storing the foods we like, we're storing the foods we eat, and we're rotating them constantly. So yes, you're still buying groceries, but you're also just having a little extra on the shelf just in case there's that winter storm or loss of work or income or whatever is thrown your way. Maybe you just have a health scare and you have a little bit of time where you need to rest and recover. And if you have some shelf-stable soup to help you get through that cold, you're going to really appreciate that. And then next time you go to the store, you grab yourself another can of soup so that you have it when you're ready. The same with your medicines. Always be checking dates and always just be rotating these things. You don't have to have this special section that's just for the emergency and then all this food goes bad or all those bandages lose their stickiness because you never used them. Have a rotating stock. Like I said, it is a lifestyle decision that you're making to just be thinking ahead and trying to be one step above the game so that when things happen, you don't have to freak out. We've seen that all happen in the past. Back a few years, everyone freaked out, and it really isn't necessary. I grew up where every fall you put up your harvest, or you went to the store and you bought a case of green beans or whatever it was, so that you had on your shelf for the winter. Because around here we can get snowed in and we know these things, but you work through that so that next fall you get fresh. It's the same concept. Learn your skills on how to cook with the things that you have and the things you enjoy, and pass those skills on. Do you have children or grandchildren or neighbors that you would love to share your knowledge of how to cook a special recipe, can, freeze, or whatever that you like to do that you can share? Maybe you're the crazy chicken lady and you can share some eggs or teach someone how they can get their very own in their backyard too. Remember, preparedness isn't something you finish, it's something that you live. I want to thank you for being with me and being part of this series with me all month long. So let's go over some last bullet points really quickly on things that we want to be thinking about, okay? Rotating that shelf-stable stock, keeping a bag in the car, not because we're fearful, not because the end is going to come or there's going to be doom and gloom, but you might get a flat tire and you just never know because life just happens. Weather changes, whatever. Read your books, talk to a neighbor, make friends. Let's talk about some little things that we can do, some little micro moments. How about your smoke detectors? How long has it been since you've checked on those? Are the batteries still good? How about a quick 15-minute walk around the yard, making sure there's nothing dangerous that you could accidentally step or fall on? Find yourself a podcast or a PDF that you can download onto your phone and listen to on your downtime. I'm going to challenge you to pick something off of that checklist down below and do this week. Let's be prepared without fear. Let's live the lifestyle knowing that this is going to be okay. And we're going to get through whatever situation is thrown our way. I've really enjoyed being here with you every single week. I hope that you come back to the channel and watch me as I cook and can and do all the things here on the farm. We'll see you next time right here at The Inquisitive Farm Wife. Bye for now, friends.